Hi there, how are you? Welcome to my channel. This is Evee of Divine Goddess V6. I hope this finds you well. Thank you for joining me this time around for this reading. We're going to be taking a look at you and your person. Primarily your person to see where they're at. I usually channel for those who are on the twin flame journey and or those on a high level soul connection. And chances are you are not in communication with your twin at this time, okay? And I generally use terms like divine masculine, divine feminine. They're only for energetic purposes, okay? I'm not talking about gender bodies or physical bodies for that matter. As we house both, we are always in constant balance for both, okay? Let's see. I want to thank you for those newly joining me and supporting my channel, helping me grow it and build it. And we're building a collective here. I'm so happy. And to all the new friends that I have recently met. And I love you all. Just thank you so much. I mean, it's purely by spirit that you are even here. If you found this video, if you found it by happenstance, or you know, you regularly subscribe to this channel and that you're here with us now, I just want to thank you. This is purely by spirit, okay? And as are these messages that we are going to retrieve for you. And these messages are only to help validate and give you affirmation of, you know, what you already know, okay? So, and I also wanted to talk about faith today. Spirit's been kind of pitching me to form this topic. I'm not claiming to have any further answers, okay? Because everyone's road is different, and how you arrive at, you know, something like faith is, you know, upon your road and where you're at in your highest self. And, you know, faith is a choice. Faith is a choice, like, you know, looking at your situations with the eyes of love, okay? Are you going to choose love, or are you going to choose doubt and fear? You know, which is, they both exist side by side. It's a matter of, you know, spirit saying, what are you going to choose? What are you going to choose to come through your situation in? You know, all we have is now. All we have is the moment in front of us, right? Like right here at this moment. And are you going to choose to look at your situation with fear, or, you know, eyes of love, right? Coming from your heart space, and, you know, really knowing the truth of everything in all our lives is from the energy of love, right? If we so choose. And, you know, choosing faith is tricky, right? It's different for all of us, but it comes down to, you can start with the feeling of trust, you know, trusting that the universe has, you know, your best at heart, right? And that you are going to come through anything through love, right? And you have to make sure you put yourself out of the way, you know, that you're not sabotaging your own success, you know, and that you're not sabotaging your own avenue to love, right? Because you're all on this road to see about you, you know, your success, your soul mission, you know, whatever that might be. But ultimately, it's still anchored in love. It's still anchored in divine light, right? For your highest purpose, okay? I just heard Spirit tell me to introduce this topic and for you to think about it and, you know, go deeper within yourselves about it, because it's different for everyone, right? But faith is faith is faith, and so is belief. And I'm just gonna hold that thought from there. All right, so now we are going to take a look and see where your person is at, okay? And as said, I usually channel for those who are on the twin flame journey and, you know, who are not in communication with your twin. And if you are, chances are the communication is not as clear as you might like, right? I also heard just now that if you're, you know, using and choosing to see these readings, you know, mine or anyone else's, you know, as a form of a habit, as a form of, you know, an addiction, right? Because this is, like I said, this is all to help clarify what you already know, okay? And that you know, I've read in the comments, you know, some people, you know, become very frustrated on this journey, right? Because they're like, you know, when? Tell me when. Tell me when. And, you know, I could tell you when on my account, but that's ultimately going to depend on you, right? Because it's your belief, your energy, you know, your flow, your faith, your beliefs. You know, where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put that power you got? You know, where are you going to place it? In love and faith, or are you going to place it in, you know, distrust and doubt, right? Ultimately it becomes, you know, it's your choice, it's your decision, you know, and in the moment to make, right? I keep hearing this. And another thing is that, you know, if you're asking questions like that, chances are you're not in faith, right? And you're not looking at your situation with eyes of love, you know? It's usually through fear, and, you know, you're responding and reacting through something, you know, lower vibration than that, right? And we're not even talking about your twin here. We're talking about you, all right? You, the person watching, right? And if you are already, you know, feeling elevated and in your center and all this is like, you're going, yeah, and I already know this, you know, great, you know, keep up your faith, right? Because it's for the collective as well, not just you, you know. What you decide affects many others, right? I mean, ultimately you, but it still affects everyone else around you, you know, this collective, you know, your loved ones, right? And I'm hearing the inner you. I'm hearing the inner you. Wow, it's beautiful. All right, so let's begin. Let's see, with the Kipper deck, where your person is at. What's going on with them? Spirit, will you please allow me to receive the highest messages for the person watching for this reading? And could you tell us, Spirit, what do you want us to know? What is the viewer's person going through right now? What's in their general energy? Whoa, that's a lot. I didn't expect that. Literally, it was just like, they just clumped out. I feel like your person's going through a lot. They're sorting through a lot. They're going through a special analysis of things they don't want to look at, all right? So the bottom of the deck, we have false person, all right? So chances are your person's obviously in a third party situation, whether this looks like a person. This is not so much an event or a situation. It's not an addiction. It's not a job. I keep saying this and all this. I keep relating it back to something that this person has, or your person has to come through. There's aspects and details of their third person situation that they are not looking at, okay, is what I'm getting. Underneath the false person card, we got thoughts. So your person's in deep thoughts about whatever is connecting it to the false person that's in their lives, okay? So that false person can be like a mother-in-law or something like that, but I get the impression this is more like a romantic partner, or once a romantic partner in your person's life, okay? So we have change in reverse, okay? Can you see this? We have, wow, poverty in reverse, okay? These are, chances are when the cards are in reverse, such as this tells me that, you know, either one, this person has got blockage, and two, it's karmic energy, okay? This is their karmic energy in their situation is what I'm getting. Unexpected income, number 27. I feel like your person may have dumbed down their boundaries, I want to say, their power, by allowing the false person either to have power over their finances or to allow them help, but that was their way of coming in is what I'm getting. What else? We have, wealthy man in reverse. Okay, this is the mask your person's wearing, okay, in the third person party. Number 13, number 4. This is I'm hearing the skeletal remains of the mask that your person's wearing or was wearing. This is all being destabilized because they're all in reverse right now. Yeah, look at this official person, okay? If your person wasn't the rich person or the wealthy man in this scenario, they definitely they were in control at one point in their current situation, okay? That they don't seemingly are engaged in is what I'm getting. Wow, you guys, look at this, main male, all right? This is kind of coming this way now. Do you see the many masks that your person was wearing, number one, and or your person could have had these different archetypes in their lives, karmic archetypes, energy, okay? With the wealthy man in reverse, the official person in reverse. This could have been a player person, a material person, the wealthy man. The official person could be somebody like a father figure, somebody who was in control, a grandfather figure maybe, some kind of patriarch that used to hold power in the connection is what I'm getting. And then there's the main male. So these could be different persons in your person's situation, and or the different masks that they're wearing in their connection, okay? You got main male in reverse. There's also the magician's energy in reverse, okay? Your person's feeling powerless. That's what I'm getting as well. Oh my God, you guys. The only card that was upright was the journey card, the last one to be pulled. And this is number 10. This is about endings and beginnings, mind you, okay? Your person is in quite, I heard paradox. Paradox. Trying to get away from this. And look at the person in the back of the false person card. I don't know if you can see. That person has a literal mask on. And that literal mask is in red. Can you see this? I'm trying to pull this up. All right. Okay, that's what I'm got it. All right, let's pull some clarifiers. Let's see. All right, Spirit, can you, wow, yeah. This is something your person has to come through, okay? I feel like they've worn many masks in this connection that they are looking to get away from. I feel like, oh, my head. Your person has to confront their fears of the mask, of each mask they have worn. So I feel like for some of them, the more masks they have worn in front of the false person, the more deconstruction that, or destabilizing they feel, okay? That tower moment has turned into like, has multiplied is what I'm getting, okay? Because of the many masks that they have worn, okay? Yeah. So, can we get a card on the change in reverse, Spirit? Wow. Did you see the tower card come down, you guys? Wow. And that felt right over, my hand's getting hot. It fell right over the official person and the main male, okay? For some of you, I feel like they're the patriarch energy, whether that is within them or an outside patriarch energy, is correcting them, okay? I feel like this energy, this official person energy has chided your person about making the right choice in their lives, about are you sure you're gonna choose wisely this time? You know, what are you choosing it for? It's more that chiding thing, okay? It's not something I feel that is healthy and bringing your person up in you know, in a healthy sense, in a equal leveled, balanced sense. I don't get that at all. And you got to remember, this is the tower card in reverse, okay? I feel like for this person, this tower moments are happening right now, and it's a matter of them. The Two of Wands talks about a couple of things, you know, choosing wisely, having options to choose from, and to make certain that you're choosing the right thing, and coming to alignment with your desires, okay? You got to notice that person has a globe in their right hand. They also have the sphere on, you know, a wand in their left hand. So their hands are full, they know what they want, but it's a matter of moving forward with it, okay? I feel like the timing of this isn't right either. There's a time of destabilizing your person's grounding. And grounding not in so much stabilization of being steady, but destabilizing old traditional thoughts, you know, yeah, outdated codes and alignment that doesn't align with them now, okay? Because of the many masks that they wore, I feel like they were not in their authentic truth, okay? Is what I'm getting as well. So let's see how your person is feeling towards the false person at this time. Wow, that was quite ready. Ooh, these three cards felt right over the main male, okay? And we have Five of Cups, we have Ten of Cups, and we have Death. So your person is in massive grief, all right, over the many masks they wore, that they are having to, not to mention heal. I feel like they have been going through a lot of self-analysis, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, all right, in order to come through this grief, right? They're facing their many parts of them that are no longer bringing them joy, okay? They're not sure where their cup of bliss is coming from, right? Because it's clearly not happening right now. I notice there's only 4 cups that are visible right here, and you see 3 of the archetypes of their mask that they were wearing, okay, is what I'm getting. I feel like that last cup, you know, is upon them to whether to give it to themselves or keep giving it away, all right? This is what I'm getting. Because you see the death card right here as well. I feel like your person is seeing all this, okay? And if you haven't heard from them or don't feel them, so to speak, I feel like they are so... I'm getting this feeling of a trapped energy under all this. It's been a wall of mass kind of falling on your person is what I'm getting, okay? Symbolically, of course. It's almost like, you know, this person's trapped themselves under the many, many masses they've wore in this connection, okay? Or what it's come to be is what I'm getting. All right, so let's see. Let's see where their energy at. Where their energy is at concerning their lives, okay? Or just, and then we'll see what the mirroring factor is with you, okay? So, I'm gonna get a card for the Divine Feminine on this side and Divine Masculine on this side, okay? So, let's get a card and see what the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are both mirroring at this time. So chances are you guys aren't talking. Yeah, there's a lot of heavy energies here. So if you've been feeling heavy on your own and not sure why, you're probably picking up on your person, okay? All right. Spirit, what is the general mirroring energy between the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine? Not the karmic, not the third party. What is the general, I'm getting chills. What is the general energy that you want to tell us about between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine? Okay, this card just kind of flipped out on its own, and it says passion ignited, and it's in reverse. And I feel like this is the Divine Masculine side. Hold on. Because this is the Magician's energy. It's like feeling you can't do anything or you're not doing anything. And yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I feel like this is the Divine Masculine's energy. And the Divine Feminine, for those who are definitely picking up on their person's pain, I feel like Spirit's saying you have to make certain you are in your elevated space, okay? Your person's in a really low vibe right now, and you, if you're not careful, you have to, it's gonna take you off your path of faith, okay? Take you your path of believing, because next thing you know, you're kind of going in their vibe and their flow and, you know, seeing your situation with your eyes as opposed to the energy of it, okay? Because remember, if you joined me before, you must have heard me say that our physical beings in the third dimension is a manifestation of the past, okay? Everything is, you know, in your life right now is basically a manifestation of your past, of all your beliefs, and, you know, and what avenue of flow you decided to stay in, right? Like, for instance, if you go to bed, you know, in a positive, happy, open place, you're gonna wake up, you know, in the same spot when you wake up, right? But if you go to bed, you know, in fear, doubt, you know, and just sadness and crying, you know, chances are you're gonna wake up and wish you addressed it, okay? This is the blue, the throat chakra color of blue, which was telling me, you know, you need to express this stuff. You can't just sweep it under the rug, okay? You are so dialed in now. I feel like the person watching, you are so dialed in on this energy work, you know? You can't write the stuff off anymore. You gotta it's like having, you know, in your moment right now, whatever is in your head, whatever is coming to you, you know, this is what you're supposed to be looking at, okay? And you choose to walk on and forward, you know, with love, right? That's what I'm getting at. Okay, so, all right, I'm getting a card for, what is the general energy between you and the divine feminine and the divine masculine? What is the general energy that they're mirroring, Spirit? What is this energy that you want us to look at? Oh, that's so many. All right. I feel like Spirit is saying that you guys both are on this energetic path, okay? You guys are on, quote, quote, different energetic paths, but they're mirroring each other, okay? And patience and planning is needed. And, you know, you kind of take stock of what is yours and what is someone else's, all right? If you are, you know, centered, and if you're in your power and you're feeling centered, you will know what is yours and what is not yours, okay? And it's very important that, you know, when you're looking for this information that you think is going to help you, you got to know what is yours and what is not yours, right? Kind of the messages that you're receiving right now, right? If this message is yours or not yours, or is it for you, or is it for your person? You know, you got to know. You already know for yourself. And if you're in your place of center, it wouldn't even be a question. You'll just know, okay? I feel like you guys are both respectively kind of circling, you know, your situation, not knowing, right? You're not knowing, you're not sure where your masculine's standing, you know, and your masculine doesn't know his head from his ass right now, it looks like. You know, there's a lot of stuff they're going through. So, all right, so patience and planning is what's going on. I feel like this is what's mirroring you guys. And this is number 7. 7's also about faith, okay? You got the pillars of truth right here. And that's a very narrow entryway, okay, is what I'm getting. Spirit is saying that this road, your road, is so special, so unique unto you guys, right? You and is yours. For the person who's watching, everyone's got their own story, everyone's got their unfolding rows going, but most importantly is like, how are you handling your faith? How are you managing your trust? All right, how are you coming through this archway, these columns of, where you do need patience, and you do need to, ignite your passion to invent a plan, okay? How you view something, chances are your person's picking up on it, and they're in so much detail right now, that you don't even know of. I feel like, a lot of this, unless you're, stay elevated and stay clear in your thinking and where you are headed, divine feminine, your person stands a chance of having patience here within their own situation, okay? They need to take off those masks before they do anything else, okay? I feel like this is exactly what's going on. And patience and planning is needed on both parties, on both parts, okay? Is what I'm getting. All right. What felt closest to me is the waiting game, all right? I feel like this is a divine feminine's. And foundation and achievements is in reverse as number 4. So do you see these conflicting energies here, right? You got the waiting, and then you got something that's on the way that's, gonna stabilize your person and their situation, all right? Yeah, you got 2 and a 4. You got halvesies going right now where, the divine masculine's energy, it's distorted, and yeah, it's riddled in like karmic energy right now is what I'm getting. So, this energy is unclear and it's confusing. You person watching, you got to know where you are, right? Because all this is just noise. If you know where you are, you know where your voice is, you're hearing the right information. You're filtering out, your divine hearing is filtering out what you need to know, right? Against all this noise. Whereas your person doesn't have that consciousness of thought, right? But they are receiving a piece of that power, when you are aligned in yours, okay? Divine feminine is what I'm getting. All right, and then for the divine masculine, I feel like these 3 cards are theirs. For the divine masculine, I see balance on the right. I'm sorry, balance on the right. Number 11, okay? Yeah, that's like the divine masculine card to me. There's also a card about justice, okay? So with the many, many masks that your person's wearing and is trying to manage and trying to heal from, I feel like, you know, there's also a justice call. That for some of them, regardless, this is their purpose, to help balance out, you know, the many masks that they have worn, that they were not in their authentic space, all right? There's a lot to clean up here. 11 is also, isn't a card of strength or justice, right? All right, and then there's number 8, accelerate emotion. Oh my God, you guys, number 8. You got 2 8s here. Oh my God, so beautiful. Wow. And then you got a card of power. All right. So remember what I was just saying about this card, you know, for your person, that is part of their, you know, their soul mission, their soul purpose is to, you know, heal those many masks that they have got going. All right. Because the numerical 8 stands for, I heard sacred union. I also heard, spiritual lessons, sacred spiritual lessons that your person has to come through on their own, come to their own conclusions and come to their own, I'm hearing their own rescue, right? Because they have to do this on their own. They have to come through the, you know, the double arches, you know, the double columns, the slim, narrow walkway on their own, okay? This is a lot for your person, but I feel like that they are, right? Because not all the cards were, you know, they're coming through this, all right? This is what I'm getting. With courage and knowing is what I'm getting. I also saw, I don't know what this is on the bottom. It looks like maybe butterflies or leaves or some kind of debris. They look like golden leaves or that kind of thing. So I feel like this is like the masks pieces of, you know, your person has to come through and they have to walk by it, okay? They got to come through this. This is very painful for your person. And for the person who doesn't believe that they're going to come through something like this, you know, they're going to stay stuck, right? They're going to stay stuck, like they can't, you know, that it's all a dream, that it won't happen for them, okay? I'm seeing this rainbow on the bottom here, cradling this dream-like state, okay, for your person, all right? They want to be happy. They want to be in a happy household. They want to have their fairy tale ending and their cake and eat it too, okay? They don't feel like any of this is possible right now because they have a lot to come through, okay? And meanwhile, you're there waiting for them, okay? You're not meant to be waiting, okay? Faith is not always about waiting, all right? Faith is like walking that parallel line, waiting in action, okay? I mean, that sounds like a weird paradox when you think about it, but that's exactly what faith is, right? In the twin flame connection, okay? Let me add that. That you choose to, oh my, giving chills, you know, that you choose to have faith on your connection, on your, you know, on your journey, that you keep doing as you do, you know, keep elevating yourself, keep focusing on your gifts, you know, and seeing your situation with eyes of love and waiting if you're going to do anything like that at all. You're watching your beautiful love story of an unfolding rose to do just that, right? That to me is faith. You know, you're watching your beautiful unfolding rose of a love story, you know, doing its thing. It's unfolding slowly, ever so slowly. You know, you're not sitting there watching paint dry, right? Spirit's instructing you to go do your thing, you know, to go expand on the gifts that you've been given, you know, all in the meanwhile, while your person's healing. They have their own set of, you know, healing they got to do, and so do you, is what I'm getting, all right? Because you're allowing yourself to give yourself your power away when you're not claiming that power for yourself, okay? You're waiting for your person. Your person's obviously being taken care of. Everyone has an inner being inside, okay? But with your faith, person watching, I feel that, you know, it's going to come over tenfold, right? On your end and your person's end, all right? What else do I see here? I feel like your person has to come through a lot of soul purpose, all right? But in order for them to come through this, you know, come through this juncture in motion that they're going to walk through, you know, that gateway, they have to find the power within themselves, okay? And I feel like your person knows just that, because the many, many masks that they were wearing, it was always a person of strength, right? But it's a matter of combining that, you know, that power with their authentic power, combining that strength, you know, calling in their strength and combining it with their authentic power is what I'm getting. And this is exactly what, you know, Spirit's helping your person through, okay? Because when you look at it this way, you're going to add up, you know, I keep seeing 9s here, right? This is what I'm seeing. And if you're going to take, you know, 9 and 9, it still adds up to 18. It still goes back to a 9, okay? Ultimately, this is for your person's growth, all right? Spiritual growth, spiritual strength, spiritual authenticity, okay? To be in their authenticity, to be in their unequivocal power, divine power, okay? This is what I'm getting. It's so strong. And your person's seeing it. They're seeing the hope of it, okay? And that light is also you. This is that twin star is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting. Wow, it's beautiful. Do you see the similarity between the circle between the balance and the circle between that star, okay? Your person's a star right here. And you are waiting for them, all right? And Spirit's saying, you got other things to focus on, not just this, okay? If you're gonna do that, it's gonna be like, you know, watching paint dry, as said, you know, watching water boil, you know, when you can, in fact, take that time and take your power back and be in your power. You know, feel that power, feel that love that, you know, you have waiting for your person, and bring it back to yourself, okay? Your person's not going anywhere. They're handling their stuff, okay? So are you. So take your power back. Take your power back, okay? That's what I'm getting. All right. So let's see what your person is. What are your person's emotions at right now? Let's see that. Where are your person's emotions at? Let's get a couple of cards. Let's see where your person's emotions are at. I'm going to take this from Made for Love's, what does she call this? The Emotional IQ deck, I think. All right, so we'll see how you and your twin are mirroring at this time. We're going to get 3 cards for the Divine Feminine and then 3 cards for the Divine Masculine. I just noticed this. The lust card is out for you. Yeah, you guys are lusting after each other, I feel, but I feel that was more for like the Divine Masculine, compelled by his magnetic experience and memories of his Divine Feminine is what I'm getting. Wow, Spirit, can I get 3 cards? Yeah, I just saw Reckless. You guys were perhaps part of a third party, a possible third party situation, okay? And or your person there could have been more than you, okay? That you didn't know about is what I'm getting as well. All right, Spirit, can we get 3 cards? 3. What is the Divine Feminine feeling at this time? 3 cards. Well, I guess we have a few. All right, let's see. You have Frustrated in reverse. Yeah, that goes with the foundations and achievements in reverse as well. You got Avoidant in reverse and Angry in reverse. Okay, Divine Feminine, I feel like you're, you know, that if those messages just now resonated with you, I feel like, you know, you're allowing your journey to take you down, okay? You're spending a lot of time waiting, twiddling your fingers, you know, addicted to what comes next. If anything's happening at all, right? So you're catching all the readings you possibly can, you know, if you're gifted with the modality, you know, you're constantly with your cards, you know, constantly asking the same questions. It's like, okay, all right. Whereas Spirit, I feel, thank goodness, you know, they don't become angry, you know, that we ask the same questions over and over sometimes, right? You got to exercise self-control here and self-discipline and use your, you know, your higher powers for for the higher purpose of you, okay? Not just to see, okay, you know, well, they haven't done anything today, you know, because you start relying on your eyes of sight as opposed to, you know, your inner knowing of, you know, this energy path that you're helping pave, okay, is what I'm getting. So I feel like that frustrated, you know, the angry, the avoidant card all has to do with your waiting, all right? If you weren't waiting, I don't feel like these energies would be as apparent and they wouldn't be here, right? You'd be frustrated with something else, you know? Avoidant, I don't think you're avoiding anything else except for the fact that you wish your person would make a choice and do something about it and come to you, right? But it's not as overnight as that, and that's where faith comes in, okay? Things that are unseen, right? Believing in the best course of action that the divine has for you and your situation, because those are forces that are unseen, right? And this is for the best, the success and the victory of your situation, you know, and your connection, okay? So you don't need to stand around and wait for it and, you know, and control it and, you know, think it through for your person, right? It's already taken care of. You just gotta take care of your end, all right? I feel like the need to remind the person watching this. All right, intrigued is on the side, all right? So the moment you decide to let go and release your connection, I'm not talking about your feelings, okay, for your person. I'm talking about the control of what you think is gonna happen, your expectations of when it's gonna happen, all that. If you release that to spirit, it stands for you and your person to give room for, you know, to be intrigued by what comes next as opposed to fearing what comes next, try to control what comes next, right? I feel like, you know, creating room for what comes next is very important here, right? Because if you're going to try to control the situation, why don't you control it by giving room? Why don't you control it by releasing it to spirit, you know? They know best, right? And they've been asking you all along to release the situation to them. All right, this is what I'm getting. Meanwhile, because while your person is feeling isolated, okay, and you're feeling isolated because you're not knowing what's going on because you decided to go with, you know, what you're seeing as opposed to what you're feeling, okay? Use your feelings to help you come through, you know, this waiting period, right? I bet you your feelings will tell you to, you know, start guiding you into your gifts and what, you know, what you can do, right? Instead of just sitting there, you know, watching paint dry, right? Watching or imagining the worst is what I'm hearing for some of you as well. Assertive is in reverse, okay? I feel like as you are waiting for your person to, you know, exert their assertion in their situation, you know, to come within themselves, to come towards you, you know, ultimately you keep wanting to come towards you. There's a lot of work to be done and addressed before they do that, okay? It's like watching paint dry, right? How exciting is that? Do you really want to just sit there and watch paint dry, or can you, you know, use better judgment with this kind of time that you have, okay, is what I'm getting. All right, let's see where your person is at. Spirit, where does the divine masculine at as far as his feelings, his emotions right now, considering he's under so many layers of unveiling is what I'm getting. Yeah, he's peeling back the layers, and there's many layers. Your connection is not new, and neither is that third party. And I feel like the dynamics of the third party is what's old, is what's been done before. All right, so what is this person feeling now, Spirit, in his life? What is his energy like? What's he focused on? A couple more. All right. I feel like these are knowingness, you know, within this person's emotional landscape, okay? They know, quote, I'm getting this quotes and know. They know they're feeling powerless, okay? That whatever they are doing right now is not helping, all right? We'll see what your person's doing in a minute about all this balance and stuff. They feel like they're in the most uncertain of places, right? We saw them, you know, becoming destabilized from where they're at, okay, with the many masks they're wearing. Cheerful is in reverse, okay? I feel like this person knows. If they don't know anything, they know that they're in a place of powerlessness, okay? These also fell over the power card, okay? And this is strong in reverse and empathetic in reverse, okay? They're feeling you, all right? They're feeling you, they're feeling everything. And they're confused by it is what I'm getting, because they don't, I feel like they don't have that clarity right now, okay? It's still sussing everything out. Kind is on its side. We'll see what that's about in a moment. Let's see. Heartbroken is off on its side and in the opposite direction, okay? I feel like, you know, with the kind energy, that was probably from the main male, okay? You know, and they're heartbroken with their most authentic intention. I feel they're heartbroken with, okay? Because that's what it comes down to. All they see around them is heartbreak, all right? All they feel around them is heartbreak, because all their masks are cracking. It's bringing up all kinds of insecurities within your person. And if you're not careful, person watching, I keep getting that, you know, some of that is getting on you, okay? And that you're confusing that energy as your own, when in fact it's not. Repulses in reverse, we'll see what that's about. So, let's get a couple of cards. Spirit, what is that kind card? What is that kind card? I just saw the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like this is another mask this person's been wearing for their outside, their third party relationship, okay? Why does this person feel like they're, what's this kind card? Is it a mask? Why do they feel like they have to? All right, so Page of Cups came out, and all these cards kind of stuck back into the deck, mind you, okay? I feel like this person's not ready to admit anything, because they're not able to admit to much right now. I feel like they're just showing everyone, you know, their outside party, like this mask of kindness, okay? It's not adhering, I'm not saying it's not true, but it's superficial, okay, is what I'm getting. It's just trying to keep everyone at bay so they won't come any further in. I feel like your person's feeling very threatened as all their masks are being checked, okay? We'll see what this Page of Cups is about. I feel like this is that kindness card that we just saw, okay? Because meanwhile, they are Seven of Pentacles. I feel your person, I'm hearing procrastination. I'm hearing lack of self-discipline. I'm hearing they don't want to invest in it. Let's get a couple more cards on that. Spirit, what is that Page of Cups card? What is that Page of Cups card? So the Wheel of Fortune came out in reverse under cheerful, okay? I feel like, yeah, it's a mask that the Page of Cups is wearing. They kind of want to stick with, like, you know, the light, superficialness of everything is what I'm getting. They don't have the strength to turn the wheel right now is what I'm getting. My hand's hot. Spirit, what is that Seven of Pentacles in reverse? I feel like this is procrastination because it's right, the corner of it, this card in reverse is touching the Power card on the Lion's side. I feel like, you know, they are being called to take off all their masks. And your person, if anything, they're wrestling with their I heard faith. I was going to say strength, but I heard faith. They are wrestling with their power of faith, their power and strength into believing that, you know, who are they at the end of the day, right? They're going to take off all these masks. Who are they? That last cup, what is that? You know, so Spirit, can you tell us what is this person's last cup? What is that last cup? They feel like they need, what's that last cup? Where are they going to go with that last cup we saw with the Four of Cups earlier? Ooh, oh my God, so beautiful. I feel like your person is gaining knowledge and courage to face themselves, okay? The sacral energy of from the sacral chakra, number 2. 2s are about partnerships and dynamics, okay? Your person with their many masks that were are broken right now is what I'm getting. My voice is going. I feel like they are gaining their courage, okay, and strength, right? Because this is the lion's color as well is what I'm getting. That they're owning their courage. They're beginning to see, you know, the many masks that are falling off. It's like they are going into themselves and gaining their courage in their abundance. All right, this is also a card of passion. Okay, we saw the ignited passion in reverse earlier. This is what's happening for your person. They are also igniting their passion. Okay, I feel like though this is slow. I feel like this is getting like a checklist, you know, checking off, you know, what your person is doing in their outside connection. Okay, let's see what some of that might be about. Spirit, can you tell us what some of these, say, the power or the lack of power that the viewer's person is trying to manage right now in their sacral chakra? They're trying to gain strength and faith and passion. What is it that they're trying to, what else do they have to heal through their sacral chakra? What do they have to accept? That's what I'm getting. Wow. Remember, an awakening is in reverse. Do you see this other circle? I feel like there's a lot of awareness coming upon your person. I feel like there is a lot of fertility, I'm hearing, an awareness of their strength, their parts. It's almost like calling in the different, all the powers from each mask that they had, okay? And the strength, the authentic strength from each mask. I feel like your person is taking the last straw, the last piece, the strongest piece, their strong, you know, like their piece of power within each mask, calling it back to themselves, I'm feeling, so that this awakening can happen, okay? They're making a recall. They're making a recall of, you know, the powers in each mask, okay, is what I'm getting. Wow. That's amazing. What are some of these strengths, be, Spirit? What are some of these strengths? Can you give us 3 cards on what power is the divine masculine receiving through this recall, Spirit, that is igniting their passion, that is igniting their voice of change, that is igniting their courage? Wow. So did you notice this card? I don't know if you can see in this on the screen. It landed right on top of their emotional IQ. Oh, you got deception and temptation. All right. I feel like your person is seeing their deception, okay, through all the masks that they've been wearing, okay? I feel like, notice this person's head's only halfway visible. For the deception that this person has committed, I feel, your person, they're seeing it now, and I feel like the other half of their face isn't out of the water, is because, one, they are speaking, they're learning to speak their truth and their emotions, they're learning to apply their authentic truth and their emotions. I feel like, you know, they have had a hand in deceiving the third party. Not to say that they're blameless. I'm feeling, you know, there's an interaction of deception going on, okay? It was almost like a trade-off of masks is what I'm getting. Whereas your person feels like they were originally tempted by whatever the deceptions were. What are deceptions now, or what are perceived as deception now was once temptation, okay, is what I'm getting. All right, let's see what else. I feel like your person's becoming more clear with the deception because it landed on top of the box. It's almost like, you know, the box of tricks that this person has housed. They're seeing their part in it, okay? And partially embarrassed about speaking up, of, you know, of owning their part in this is what I'm getting as well. You don't know if this person underneath is water. Are their teeth straight? You know, teeth are also representation and symbolism for truth, okay? One's personal truth. That's what I'm getting as well. Let's see, what else? I feel like this person has been oppressed during the course of their lives, thus the many masks they had to wear, or they felt they had to wear or invent, okay? So with that, I feel like for some of them, they are also realizing how they can come out of this, okay? Because of their inventiveness in creating these masks to begin with, that, you know, they are creating, it's dawning on them that they can create their way out, okay? But I feel this piece is slow because it's a new dawning is what I'm getting, okay? All right, so we got 2 more right here, or 3 more actually. So these are in reverse against each other, okay? Because they felt like this. So these 2 top cards is the Ace of Earth, is the Ace of Pentacles, that embodies the earth signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, okay? So if your person and or you is a earth sign. This also has to do with, Ace of Pentacles has to do with seedlings and grounding. And this came out with the autumn card, Harvest. This talks about cultivation. This talks about letting go of things that are dead, okay? Ace of Pentacles is also a new beginning, all right? A new chapter. And I feel like, you know, with the many, many masks that this person, your person is shedding, all right? And bear in mind, these energies are interchangeable as well, okay? I should have said that earlier, but I'm hoping you already know that. I'm going to take a couple more cards on this, but I feel like this is a new chapter happening for your person as they are sweeping out. You know, it's almost like tag teaming, okay? Spirits coming in, you know, telling your person there is a grounded, sure-footedness in your cleaning up of your mess, okay, is what I'm getting. Oh my God, I just saw this. So it's almost like another circle, another sphere of truth and protection and message is what I'm getting as well, that this person is becoming aware of the more they're clearing out, the more they're cleaning up, the more they are hearing their truth. It's almost like a finger to the pulse is what I'm getting, nose to the grindstone. Yeah, like they're on top of it is what I'm getting. So this came out with the messages card, okay? Mercury energy, all right? Travel and communication. It's all the 8 of Wands energy as well is what I'm getting. And notice the card of this is blue, all right? This is talking about truth. This is firing up, you know, activating the throat chakra, the gums, the teeth, the truth, the authentic truth of oneself, okay? I feel like there's, yeah, this is what's being told to your person, I feel. With the deception card, that they're seeing past their deceptions, and that the universe, you know, the divine has been telling your person, you know, exactly what this is, what their part in this is. Let's kick a couple of more cards. I'm feeling a little sick in my, between my solar and my sacral chakra right now. I feel like this excites your person's, I heard purity of choice. I also heard belief. You know, what do they really believe in? You know, who are they really? You know, who are they going to choose to stand up and represent themselves, okay? That their truest self. Who is that? What is that? How does that look is what I'm getting. Let's get a couple of more cards, Spirit. What is the Ace of Pentacles? What is it the beginning of? Oh, wow. You got 2 4s right here. 4s are about establishments and stability, okay? We talked about the many masks your person's been wearing, you know, and that is being destabilized. This is to help them. My hand's getting really hot. This new chapter is going to require them to let go of all that they've known, you know, what their security, what they thought their security was, you know, what they thought, how they felt about, you know, their self-esteem, you know, and all that, you know, is bringing them, you know, wholeness or not, okay? The 4 of Swords in reverse speaks of someone, you know, realizing these exact truths that they need to let go, that, you know, they are, you know, new walls are coming in, okay? New truths, new pillars of truth, you know, new, what no longer serves them is out, is what I'm getting. And I feel like this person is being told this, is being instructed to come through this, okay? What about the autumn? What is this person harvesting, Spirit? They're letting go. This is a very painful ending for your person at this time, okay? Picture each of these pieces of unauthentic truths your person had to bear. And, you know, look at that blood underneath that neck, all right? This is the mobility of your person, okay? That now is no longer, is rendered useless as well. This is why your person is in such dire straits, I feel. You know, they feel like they're in dire straits, right? Until they focus to believe that, you know, they're gonna come, they need to come through this, okay? Because there's no other way out. There is no other way out. The only way out is in. Inside oneself, inside one's truth, okay? They're going in, all right? And that's all yellow right there. Do you see? Wow, this is beautiful. What else? So, can we also get a card, Spirit? I feel like also as well that, you know, Spirit's telling your person that what they've cultivated for such the longest time is over, you know? And the more they clean this up, the more they, you know, kind of work a way to get the swords off their backs is, you know, how they are going to come through this. And it's a very painful process. Picture each of these swords being pulled out one by one, okay? It's not in reverse. It's not falling out, all right? It's not even sliding through from the blood, okay? I feel like this person's blood is dried. It's a very painful extracting process is what I'm getting, okay, for your person. Oh, poor dear. Can we get a card on the Mercury, on the messages, travel and communication, Spirit? Yeah, they gotta come through some karmic energies, okay? The star in reverse, all right? Oh, my head speaks of your person. They want to come through this and charge through this and work this out right away, all right? Because the Knight of Swords is about, you know, doing something without thinking, okay? And I feel like this is what's landed your person here to begin with. I feel like this piece right now is what they are being told, all right? To not rush through this, all right? To not come to something that's not ready for them, okay? Or try to control is what I'm getting. Because these are karmic energies, okay? And your person's being taught to be patient, okay? Notice, remember the patient and the planning card? I feel like your person, this person is not usually a patient person either, okay? They want to come through this. They want to, you know, come through this with a huge gusto and, you know, think it over in one sweep, okay? I don't hear that for this person. This is a very painful ending, okay? Of course they want to take these swords off their backs, but you got to have a lasting effect as to this won't happen again, right? It's got to take root in what, you know, what is being cleared away, right? And what is being, I'm hearing restored. I'm hearing your person needs to be restored with their authentic self, okay? Their authentic truths never left them. They left their authentic truth side, all right? And then built up, you know, I heard like a huge wall of masks is what I'm getting, okay? And that brought them into this karmic energy now that they're trying to leave behind, all right? Do you see how arduous this process is for your person, okay? They also feel that your person in the past had, you know, sabotaged a lot of this, and only by keeping up those masks, okay? When those masks were like, you know, starting to tear off or fall off, right? And this is the universe way saying, you know, no, 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 you know, that's not the way, you know, not the way through. Your person insisted on, you know, keeping up the pretenses of those masks, okay? Whether that was to, you know, I'm hearing for some it was for family. You don't want your family to get hurt, so you kind of kept on lying, right? By keeping those masks on. They won't be able to handle the truth. You know, let's just tell them this, you know, like I'm hearing for some that they didn't tell that, you know, their extended family that, you know, there was a loss of a child or something like that. Yeah, I'm picking up on that. But that's just for a very few of you is what I'm getting. Let's see what else. All right. So let's see what some messages from your person might be, okay? We're going to take these from this is a new deck from the Hidden Truth from All Things Intuitive. These are the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine messages, okay? So let's see what your person wants to tell you. All right, let's see what your person's messages are to you at this time. And obviously this is definitely going to be in the 5D. I feel like your person is so up to here. They're kind of drowning in their process right now. I mean, not drowning. I feel like they're challenged in their process right now, okay? They're very much... You know what? Before we do that, I think I told you I was going to see where they were at as far as receiving this healing. Spirit, can you tell us where this person is at? The viewer's person, where are they in this healing, in their process? Are they receiving the messages being given to them? Are they fighting back? Okay, this card wants to stand up. We'll take this. And Spirit, where is this person at as far as receiving? What is their assistance right now? How are they receiving their assistance and being helped? How are they receiving their lessons? Thank you. So this card wanted to stand up straight, and it was the 8 of Cups. They're evolving, all right? They are evolving. They are going deep within themselves, right? We saw that card earlier that your person is basically, that your person is basically showing quote, acts of kindness, you know, behind a mask. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory. Okay, nothing's wrong here. Keep on moving. Okay, that's what I'm getting. I feel like they're walking around holding their mask to their face is what I'm getting, okay? All right, this card fell over the 10 of Cups. I'm sorry, this is the 10 of Cups, and it's contentment and joy. This would be kind of like the fairy tale card in reverse, okay? And this fell on the divine feminine side. I feel like your person knows that their 10 of Cups lies with you, but they're in no shape, will, way, or form to come to you, okay? This card's in reverse, and this card went as far left as it could on the divine feminine side, okay? I feel like your person really has you in mind or heart, you know, in their being, but there's no way they can come to you right now in the 3D. No way. Wow, you guys. 2 of Pentacles fell. Your person's kind of taking all this information and really just trying to sort through it, and they're juggling, okay? I feel they are putting it in the information in all its rightful place, or filing it in a divine order is what I'm getting, okay? This card also fell over the waiting game. My hand's hot, you guys, and it's over the divine feminine side, all right? I feel like your person knows that they are coming through something so intense, so painful, so heavy, you know, all for their perfect vibrational match is what I'm getting, okay? Granted, I don't feel that vernacular is with your person at this time, but this is what their 5D knows, okay? This card fell right over the hourglass. Do you see this? This is all about timing. This is all about divine timing, you know? Do you see the hourglass right here? What your person is learning has to take root for it to grow within them, to come to themselves, okay? There's a lot of waiting involved, and Spirit's saying you don't need to wait because your person's, you know, they're refining their balancing act, okay? Your job is to make sure you, person watching, is your most elevated place, okay, is what I'm getting. All right, so now let's get some messages. Let's get some messages from your person's 5D to you. Let's take 3. Spirit, can we get 3 cards from the divine masculine to the divine feminine? Divine masculine to the divine feminine. What are the messages that the divine masculine's 5D self would like to say to the divine feminine? Wow, your person is, I feel like they're just captured by their situation is what I'm getting. This card says, I don't know why this happened. It's kind of almost in reverse. Yeah, your person's really confusing. I'm hearing befuddled right now, with, you know, the amount of healing they must do, okay, is what I'm getting. These 2 cards also fell onto the very left of the divine feminine field, okay? I miss seeing you. Your person misses you. Your person misses you. I feel like they, you know, for some of them, they see you in their dreams, all right? And this is the only time that they can see you, all right? That's what I'm getting. But your person misses you, clearly. And that fell, I think, yeah, it fell underneath the waiting card, you guys. As with this card fell over the waiting card as well. I'm losing my voice. I am recovering. This is in reverse. Your person knows that they have to come through all this, okay? They're preoccupied right now, and their hands are, I'm hearing their hands are dirty. They're in it, all right? I don't feel like they're turning away from this. I feel like your person is they're in the process. They're in the process, is what I'm getting. All right, so let's get one last card. What does Spirit want you to focus on while this is all going on? What does Spirit want you to focus on while this is all going on in the meantime? All right, clearly one, they're not asking you to wait, okay? You can wait in your own way, and that does not mean to twiddle around your thumbs as you become overly hypersensitive to your person, okay? So Spirit, what do you want to tell the person watching? What should they focus on at this time? What's on the way for them? Wow. Oh my God. So this card flipped out on its own and wanted to go back and was kind of sticking out a little bit. You got the Solitude card. Wasn't there a Solitude card up here earlier? Yes. Wait, where'd it go? We got Isolated over here. This is Solitude 9 in reverse. Okay, see this person? Under that pillar, okay, that singular pillar, and she's in a dress of, blue, and that is ignited, with her 5th chakra, her throat chakra, and I'm also hearing her, it's almost verging on indigo, which is activating the 3rd eye, all right? This person has a book in front of them. I feel like Spirit's saying, with this time, your window of time here, however long it might be, 9's also about, the mastery of the self. I feel like there's gifts that you've been given. There's messages that you are downloading, if not have downloaded. Spirit saying go look in on those, all right? Go focus on you. You, person watching, okay, is what I keep getting. Because this I'm hearing this weight of time, you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. This waiting of time is translated into a time of joy where you're discovering, okay? The waiting turns into feelings of discovery, all right? Turn it around. Turn it around. It's the opposite spectrum of waiting, all right? It's discovering. My God, isn't that great? Whatever that is for you, a new film, music, a new modality, a new message that you're receiving, unto your own, that you can explain to anyone else, okay? This is what I'm hearing. Wow, this is beautiful, you guys. All right, I think that's it. Is there anything else, Spirit? All right. On the bottom of this deck was discontent and boredom, another number 4, all right? I just heard Spirit ask, what are you building your foundation on, all right? Are you building it on love and hope? And I'm hearing self-assuredness, or are you, is it off of the edge of fear and doubt, all right? And disbelief is what I'm getting. And for some, I'm hearing it's waiting, right? Waiting. You don't have to wait this way, all right? This is what you're going to come down to if you keep waiting this way, is what I'm getting. All right. I hope that helped. I really, really do. And if it did, would you kindly help me build my channel? Like, subscribe, comment, all the usual. And I have a private readings available on my my Etsy, and I have content as well on my Instagram. But everything is under Divine Goddess V6. All right. I hope this helped. I really, really do. Stay in your center space, okay? In your place of love. Until next time, please take care.